Well, I think it'll be very interesting, should I live long enough, you will, to see what changes occur in the next even 50 years, and I know I won't live that long, in government and in the power of the federal government and the power of the United States as a foreign leader.
Yeah. If you want a glimpse of some of those things, I encourage, there's a book called The Fourth Turning. And this is a book written by a couple of historians where they identify cycles that take place in history. And they identify specifically about an 80-year cycle. And it goes through kind of what you could liken to seasons. This 80 years, so about every 20 years you have sort of a change of season. And we are at a period in the cycle that is like the winter period of the cycle. Now, the last time around would have been the Great Depression and World War II. Before that, it would have been the Civil War. Before that, it would have been the Revolutionary War, and then you can go back into European history before that. So you take each of those events and you've got between 70 and 90 years between each of them. That's where we're at we're kind of just beginning that winter period of the cycle. Now, every time in the past in American history, it's resulted in a major war, I mean a world-changing war, not the Iraq War, not Vietnam. I mean, we're talking World War II, Civil War, Revolutionary War. And generally what comes out of that, when you come out of that winter, it's the whole order has changed. You know, the Revolutionary War, the colonists here defeated the world superpower, right? Nobody ever thought that would have been possible. And, you know, I mean, England continued to be a superpower for some time, but for some time after that, but it changed the power structure of the world. The Civil War didn't so much affect the rest of the world as much as it did here, but it had a huge effect here. World War II, you know, you think what came out of World War II, the United Nations, these kinds of, you know, you really have a much more globalist type system after World War II, and you couldn't have, the thing is, the results of it you never could have predicted beforehand. And who knows what the world will look like 20 years from now, but it won't look like it does now. It'll be fundamentally different than it is now. The Civil War, by the way, in their analysis, they say that really the Civil War was so devastating that you almost like skipped a part of the cycle after the Civil War, because most of the time after these, you know, after the winter, you go into the spring period and you have a boom period, you know, the 1950s. The guys came back from war, and that's when you had the interstates are built and the cities are built, suburbs, you know, just this huge growth period, right? You didn't have that after the Civil War because it was such a devastating thing, or at least not to the degree that you normally would.